close. That's easy offside. After looking at the behind the whistle VAR. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're watching from, and welcome back to another episode of Behind the Whistle. Today is a great one. We are officiating in the Emirates FA Cup. In my opinion, the greatest competition in football. Today's match is between Thornbury Town against Virginia Water. This is my first time officiating in the FA Cup, and today I'll be an assistant referee. If this is your first time watching the channel, my name's Eric, and I take you in the day in the life of what it's like to be a grassroots referee. Obviously, for an FA Cup, we need to get ready, and a few of you guys have been asking to see what is in the kit bag, so I'm going to show you guys what I'll be packing for today. First things first, we've got the boots, and they'll be going into my ref stop boot bag. Obviously, we need a shirt. So today I am wearing the Nike match kit with the Gloucestershire FA county badge on. Now, in the FA Cup, you have to wear your county badge. For some of you guys at a higher level, you'll maybe wear the FA badge with the 3 lions. Then we're wearing shorts. I just have the typical Nike referee shorts with the back pocket. And then, as you can probably guess, we've got the Nike match socks. The centre referee will be a level 4, so he'll be in all Nike kit, and so I'll be wearing to match so it looks professional. I've then got a watch, and then I'll be wearing my smart Apple Watch with Ref 6 on to keep track of the full game. Yellow and red cards. Now you might think, Eric, you're an assistant referee. Why would you take a yellow and a red card? Well, you never ever know what might be forgotten or what might happen. I'll then take a whistle with me with the ref stop lanyard. Why am I taking it if I'm the assistant ref? Because you better be prepared. We'll also take a match card. Obviously, I track it on my watch, but I also note things down as well. And then finally, I'll be packing my flags. And again, I'll take these just on the off chance that anything happens with the referee's flags. Just got the standard ref stop flags here. Anyway, it should be a good game. Both teams finished similar in the league, in their respective leagues last year, and so hopefully it'll be a good competitive game. First time in the FA Cup for me, a real honour, big day. Played in it 3 times, I've lost 3 times, and I got sent off once. So I'm really hoping that today is a much more positive day. And then, as always, we'll be analysing the match footage afterwards, so stick around for that. Got myself some food and a drink. So we've got some coconut water. It's a very hot day today. Coconut water is a brilliant, natural hydrator. Loads of potassium, full of electrolytes, very hydrating. Big fan of coconut water. And then I've got a biryani. Now you might say, Eric, why are you eating a curry before? The biryani is dry. So it's literally basically rice, chicken and spices. And so I get it from my local shop. It's absolutely banging, it's so good. So I usually try and eat something like this about 3 hours before kickoff. That for me is just enough time to feel, I guess, like it's processed in my body. I don't know if it has, I don't know if that's true, but it feels good. And so that's why I eat about 3 hours before the game. It's about an hour's journey. So I'm gonna eat this and then head off to the game. So, game over. Game was 2-2. Virginia Water scored with not very long left at all to make it 2-2. It means that Thornbury and Virginia Water will actually have a replay down at Virginia Water on Tuesday night. So best of luck. So best of luck to both teams for that. The game was interesting. Thornbury's pitch wasn't in a great state. Virginia Water were a very physical side. Being down from the London area, you'll find that teams down there are usually a lot more physical than the geography that I'm from. My performance was all right. I didn't have too much to do. I didn't get too involved. I had a few offsides that I gave, which all the fans behind me disagreed with. So we'll have to have a look when we get back. Great day though. At the end of the day, it's an honour to do an FA Cup game. Do I enjoy running the line? Nowhere near as much as I enjoy refereeing. So I don't think I'll ever go specialist assistant. Not really going to be my thing. FA Cup 2-2 in the pocket. Yeah, I wouldn't have thought I'd have been here so quick after just, 1.5 seasons of refereeing. So super happy with that. Real honour to do the competition. So for this game, I am going to be the senior assistant. And what that means is I'm the assistant on the side of the team's benches. So I'll be dealing with substitutions, any issues around the bench, and obviously being a port of call for the teams if they need anything. So there's a few bits of extra responsibility when you're senior assistant. So once you get to a certain level of football, I believe it's county level and above, you will do a respect handshake. And what that means is both clubs will walk out, you'll stop, turn around and shake hands with the officials and the opposite team. So we go through the respect handshake and then we're straight into kickoff. 5 or 6 minutes in, Thornbury go 1-0 up. You'll see that as the pass is played by number 5, there's calls for offside. The 9 then plays it out wide. Lad takes the touch and then scores at the near post. So Thornbury go 1-0 up. Let's take a look and see if it was offside. So at that moment, the ball is played. You'll see that on camera, it looks super clear that he's offside, especially because we've got that line in the pitch. It looks really, really clear. However, that line is not straight. So that can really throw your eyes off. As you'll see from the behind the whistle VAR room, is that this is onside and it's pretty clearly onside. Now, what's important to note is what the other assistant referee is doing brilliantly. As an assistant referee, looking at this still image, you'll think that he is so far away from being in line with play. However, you'll see that's not the case. From the VAR line, you'll see that in line with the defender, with that line, effectively, the AR should be stood right in the middle of that line. And as you can see, it passes straight through him. So he is bang in line with play, absolutely perfectly. So big respect to other AR, because at the end of the day, we're not professional ARs. We're not going to be in the perfect position all the time. And we don't actually do it a lot. Most assistant referees at this level are not assistant referees a lot of the time, predominantly referees. So big credit to the assistant for being in the perfect position and getting this call right that leads to a goal. Just 4 minutes after Thornbury go 1-0 up, Virginia Water score an equaliser.
Into the wind, fellas!
So as you can see, it comes off the Thornbury defender, so it's an unfortunate own goal, and that is it really. There's nothing really to talk about here so you'll see here one of the Thornbury coaches saying to me that I've missed a foul throw for the goal and that it should never have counted. I explained to him that I didn't see it, and he tells me that, you know, obviously I wasn't concentrating and that I've missed it. On one part, he's not wrong. I wasn't actually looking at the guy's feet. There's obviously so much happening in the box in front of me, I was kind of just focused on watching that. Thankfully, as you'll see from the images, there is no foul throw. The lad is not on the pitch, but it does raise a good point that it's something I should be checking for. I was just focused on the box, making sure there was no excessive pushing, pulling, anything that could have happened, and I didn't want to miss anything important right in front of the goal. However, I should have been looking down at the lad's feet, but as you can see, it's not a foul throw, and he's just trying to get under my skin. We then got our first yellow card of the game. Well, first 2 yellow cards of the game. So as the ball comes in, you'll see the player in blue control it, and then the red 5 commits this reckless foul, which the referee has rightly given a yellow card for. You'll then see the blue number 6 coming in, causing problems, pointing the finger, pushing, shoving, and this nearly causes a mass confrontation. You'll notice that I start to walk out here to get an angle on what's going on. The reason for this is during the pre-match talk, the referee was very clear with us. If there's a potential mass con, let's try and get 3 separate points of view. We're obviously trying to find the instigator, the retaliator, and then anything else that happens after that. So I come onto the pitch to get a slightly different angle just in case things start to boil over. Thankfully they don't, and so that's why I've now started entering the cards into my watch, because I didn't want to forget who he had carded. You'll see that after it calms down, he shows a yellow card to the number 6. Not everyone will agree, but I think this is brilliant from the referee. Reason being is, when things like this happen, you don't want to allow people to come in and start pushing, shoving, causing problems when something has already been dealt with. And as the ref said at half time, right, he's nearly caused a mass con from his reaction. It's completely needless. So the Thornbury 5 will get a yellow card for reckless play, and the Virginia Water number 6 will have gotten a yellow card for adopting an aggressive attitude. Now you'll hear shouts of handball beforehand, so let's take a look. So from the still image, it's obviously hard to determine whether it has hit his hand or not. On the basis his arm comes back after the ball comes in, it may suggest that it does. However, the referee's got a brilliant view at this, so he's got a much better view than the camera does. Even if it has hit his hand, you could make an argument that having the arms down by his side is a natural position anyway, so I'm happy to go with the referee's decision here. Obviously it could be handball and they believe it is, but it still doesn't warrant a tackle like this, so it's a yellow card for reckless play. Another thing to note after this MASCON is the fact that the referee then has a chat with the Virginia Water captain to explain why he's given him a yellow card, and I imagine to let him know that he's not going to tolerate that type of reaction after a foul. So I think this is really good management from the ref here. We then get a close offside call to make. So the ball gets played through and it's going to be a one-on-one between the attacker and the goalkeeper. Now, as you'll see from the behind the whistle VAR room, this is not offside, he is onside. If this was offside, I likely would have raised the flag very quickly because the referee made it very clear that the only time he wants a quick flag is obviously if there's potential for a collision between the striker and the goalkeeper. Player safety is obviously always the first concern. This isn't offside though, so that's why we've kept the flag down. Virginia Water go on the attack and there's another offside decision to make. As you can see, it's very clearly onside. Shortly after that, Thornbury go 2-1 up.
Keep moving the ball! Yeah!
Cool, that's close.
Move it early! Let's go! Forward! Forward! Relax! Compose! Compose!
So as you'll see from the behind the whistle VAR room, it is very, very, very close. I guess one thing to note is that I'm ever so slightly ahead of play here when that ball is played, but again, this is inconclusive and I think we can go with my decision on the day. Shortly after this, we get our third yellow card of the game, this time for Thornbury. As you can see, the Virginia Water player is driving forward on a promising attack and gets brought down by the Thornbury number 6. So very simple, yellow card for a foul tackle. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is half time. 3 cards, 3 goals, a few offsides, and yeah, the second half gets even more exciting. So let's jump straight into it. Is he offside? Let's see. Let's see, ladies and gentlemen. I think it's bang on. I think he's got it absolutely nailed on, Nick. As we can see, it is incredibly close. After looking at the behind the whistle VAR, it does show that he is ever so fractionally offside. Obviously, it's not perfect. We do the best that we can with the resources that we have, but I'm happy to go with the assistant's decision here. It looks like he's got it absolutely bang on. So we give a throw in right in front of the benches and there's uproar. Absolute uproar. So let's have a look.
Good LB! Good LB!
So as you'll see from this freeze frame, I have signalled for a Virginia Water throw-in. Everybody's upset because it's a Thornbury ball, or is it? As you can see, when they come together for the tackle, the last touch is actually off the Thornbury player. Obviously, the Thornbury defender who shields the ball out thinks it's their ball, which obviously causes all the Thornbury fans, manager, coach, physio, subs to think it's their ball. As you can see, I had a very good angle on it, me and the ref agreed, and so I put my flag up to signify that the ball's gone out and that it's a throw in to Virginia Water. Shortly after the throw in, we then get another offside decision. So as you can see from the behind the whistle VAR room again, the number 7 has come back from an offside position, and so this is a clear offside for me to give. We then have another offside decision here. So the ball comes bouncing in and the Virginia Water player kicks the ball onto the Thornbury player. On camera, we don't have a clear view of when there's contact made with the Thornbury Town player. However, we can see that the ball is moving forward on this frame, so we'll use that for the offside. As you can see from the behind the whistle VAR room, it is incredibly tight. It's very difficult for us to actually know whether this is correct or not because we don't see where the ball comes off the Thornbury player. I think it's a 2 or 3 frames before, around here. Obviously the attacker is moving slightly in on every frame, but it's very tight, as you can see. So I'm going to go with inconclusive, maybe incorrect, maybe inconclusive. Very tough to know because we don't actually see where the ball's released. But I gave an offside here, yeah, and it's very tight. Then literally less than 2 minutes later, we get another offside decision.
Line up! Stand up! Stand up! Looking at the ball.
Not much VAR needed here. As you can see, he's clearly offside. You'll hear shouts of he's in front of him, he's in front of him. And obviously you'll see the reaction from the benches as well. But as you can see at the moment the ball is played, he's very clearly offside. And this is a prime example of why you cannot let comments from benches, managers, players, crowd affect you during a game. Most people are not watching the game through the same lens that you are, okay? You're the only impartial person in the ground. So when you make a decision, you're the only person most of the time looking at it through a completely impartial lens. And as you can see here, the decision is absolutely right, but everyone behind me is convinced that you're wrong. We get a situation where one of the Thornbury players goes down screaming, holding his ankle, and you'll hear shouts of, you know, people telling me to help the ref out, that I've seen it, X, Y, Z. Situations like this can be difficult because when a player goes down with a loud shout and is genuinely hurt, people will obviously presume that one of the opposition has committed an offence against them, either stamping on them or kicking them or whatever. This is not the case. All that happened is the lad has gone to put his foot down. He's actually stepped on the Virginia Water player's foot and he's rolled his ankle. That is all that happened. So you'll see the ref come over to me to ask, have I seen anything? I say no, there's no disciplinary action needed, and the player gets treatment. And just 5 minutes before full time, Virginia Water make it 2-2. We then give this throw-in decision very close towards the end of the game. You'll see they're visibly upset by this, but as you'll see from the slow-mo, the ball does ricochet off the Virginia Water player last, and so you'll see the referee look to me, and then I give the throw-in Thornbury's way. And then we get our final yellow card of the game for delaying the restart. You'll see that the lad is just consistently standing in front of the ball, and as the lad walks back to place the ball, he keeps walking with him, and so that's why the referee is given a yellow card for delaying the restart. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is full time. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. I will see you next week.